This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
This podcast contains adult themes, sexual content, and strong language. If you can't handle that, you should probably leave.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
All right, well, so anyway, let's just dive on into this.
Oh, no, I want to stop because I do have something important I want to say.
What the fuck?
We learned something last week, and I'm really proud of it.
What?
We found out that we have listeners all over the fucking globe.
Fumpkin.
The fucking globe.
Okay,
the whole
yeah.
thing. We have,
Hey.
We almost have more listeners in Norway
Than we do here.
in the freaking U.S. And I will tell you, I'll be thrilled to fucking death if we became more popular in Norway than we do here.
Yeah,
I
we'd
would
love
be
to come out there.
Oh my God.
Please fly us out to your place. We like it better. We like it better out there.
And I love black metal, dude.
Yeah, let's go out and get real cold, baby.
Man.
So yeah, shout out to anybody out there in the world who's not in the U.S.
Yeah.
We
We're happy
love
you're
you.
here.
Thank you. We
Y'all are-
welcome you.
Y'all are probably our favorite.
Yeah.
Y'all are probably our favorite listeners.
And if anybody out there, even the U.S. listeners, are not already involved with our social media, we would love for you to be. That'll help us kind of keep this shit going and make us feel...
Yeah, they're going to fire us eventually.
No, but it'll make us feel loved and connected to you because all that we do is feel connected, you know, in these books. Everybody putting their penises and vaginas and stuff.
Ripping
you know, we haven't read
condoms.
any lesbian or gay books yet. I'm looking for those.
Yeah, where are they?
I haven't found them yet. They're not vintage. Vintage
we're going
isn't with
we're
it.
going looking for new material tomorrow,
Yeah,
actually.
I will.
right?
I'll find something, but it's
Hell
not
yeah.
vintage because vintage didn't accept that. But
Not
we
tomorrow, this
do.
weekend.
We're pro LGBTQ. So anywho,
we are pro people.
pro
dude.
whatever.
Yeah,
well,
just-
we're anti people and pro.
Oh, we don't want to hang out with you.
do your own thing.
But we're proud that you're you and that
Yeah.
you're doing you. Just,
Yeah, keep it up.
you know, leave us alone.
Fuck yeah. So anyway, if you're just now joining us, welcome to another episode of Bustles and Bangers with your hosts Rachel and Christopher Danger.
We're here. Christopher Danger.
Where we read typically vintage romance novels that can get a bit cheeky, but mostly they're cheesy. And we just rip them apart, talk shit, talk nasty, get mad, get freaky, whatever. And we love it that you listen to us do this because we love voyeurs. So anyway.
We actually got watched having sex in a Target the other day.
Shut up. So if you want to get even better of a glimpse of us, because this is usually audio only, we'll get to video someday, but we like it being a little mysterious. Check us out on our Facebook, Insta, and TikToks at Bustles and Bangers. Or if you want to see a little bit more of us, you can check out our personal stuff on Insta and TikTok at Gypsy Danger 0317. Christo 4, like I said, the number 4, Danger,
Please
is
don't follow
on
me.
Insta, and he's so fucking sexy with his cute curly hair. Oh my God, you got to check him out, dude. And then additionally, if you want to see what I'm up to on OnlyFans, number 1, you can just ask me for the link on my other stuff, but it's Gypsy Danger 0317. If you actually spent money on the app, you can search me. Hey. I put up some new stuff today that I thought was pretty cute.
I think everything you put up was pretty cute.
Thanks. And I like to
I
keep it
got
real.
my stuff approved. And
Yay!
you
It
should.
still can't tag. I still can't tag
All right,
you.
we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it.
OnlyFans, help us out. We're trying to be popular. But
All right, so
yeah, so
oh, we forgot something. We
What?
keep not mentioning this. We
What?
also have a website now.
oh yes, www.bustlesandbangers.com.
We got it
baby.
before somebody else did.
Fuck
We
yeah.
did it, yeah.
Yeah. F you,
You know who you
mystery
are.
person.
You know who you are.
But yeah, so anyway, if you're joining us today, like I said, we read vintage romance novels.
No.
Nipples.
We're drinking already.
This is actually the 3rd installment of a fat ass book called The Reluctant
I want to
Countess.
sit in on a sobriety podcast to be like a guest.
They do not want us on
Shit.
there. We are anti-sobriety.
They'll be like, this is what an addict looks like on a podcast.
I read somebody's post today. I love them, but they said something about like I I don't know, recovering addicts. And I'm like, bitch, neither of us are recovering.
Man, our parents raised losers, not quitters.
Oh, poor mom. She's so anti-proud of me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my parents.
She's like, I want you to hang out, but I don't really like what you bring to the table.
My dad's probably legitimately proud of me.
You know, I think my dad loves me and he's cool for it. You know, thanks,
I think
Dad.
my mom is too. I have pretty good parents.
Yeah, I got good parents. I
mean,
just think they don't know what to do with me.
They just made really shitty kids.
What the fuck are y'all? How do you exist? Like, you're not what I expected at all.
All right, we gotta get serious now. It's time to podcast. It's time to
get freaky. So, do you remember what was happening?
So I remember Giles ripped a condom inside of that poor girl.
Yes. Okay. So
and they got caught. Like the sister got caught giving head in a closet or some shit.
Lord Lilfer, who's Giles, and Lady Yasmin, who's also Yasmina.
Who's the?
Yeah, she's a little skanky, slutty girl.
She's the gravy on this.
But she's not, because what we found out last episode is that she's not really into sex she thinks.
Fucked,
okay,
right?
So
it was him. He broke the condom.
Hear me out. She was tricked into a fake marriage because the first guy, Hippolyte, gay. Anyway, again, when we say gay, we love gays, but yeah, lame. So anyway, Hippolyte tricked her trying to get her fortune. Basically, we're in the 1800s. Some of this is in France. Mostly this is in Britain. And at this time, the courteous thing to do if you are... if your ladyhood is jeopardized, you're kind of forced into marriage. Like, because if you're going to have a kid, you might as well get married.
Okay.
So basically, by faking the marriage and then having sex with her, he goes to the parents and is like, I deserve money because if you want me to actually marry her to save her name, I deserve money. Well, so of course they didn't go through with it. She moves to Britain. People see her as scandalous because her mother was married, but the mistress of Napoleon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember this.
Okay, so they see her as scandalous even though she's actually not. So Giles and her get a little freaky. She drops her purse. A condom falls out. She tries to say it's not hers, but he doesn't listen. And he's like, it's actually okay. I respect you.
To condoms.
To protecting yourself from unwanted children and diseases. Be smart, people. Don't fuck around while you're fucking around
with us.
We're safe.
We don't do condoms.
We don't do condoms. We do wellness checks and birth control. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers. To wellness checks. And by that we mean getting fucking paneled.
Yeah, and not double dipping because...
Oh yeah, apparently that's a bad idea.
Yeah, stop that. All right, listen, everybody. Butt stuff is what you end on. I don't know what porn's teaching you, but those girls are on antibiotics 24/7. Every time I watch porn now, I think about that. I'm like, oh my God, and then you put it in your mouth? Oh my God.
You know what I was thinking about doing? I don't know how we would have to work this out by saying things very particularly. But what if we got a not sex worker to come on our podcast with us? And,
Well, the closest we get are more OnlyFans people.
I don't care.
Where are we going to find an escort?
No. Are you serious?
Here in this area where we live in. Hey, let's go to like Vegas.
You can't.
Man, there are brothels.
We could do the podcast wherever, I guess.
There are brothels out there.
But I think that would be fun.
Excuse me. You're welcome. Anyway, yeah.
Tequila.
Hey.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, shut the fuck up. So anyway, okay, so her and Giles fucked, and she thinks she does not like sex because the condom broke and it sagged down like what she said, chicken skin, and his dick is enormously huge,
elephant dick.
She said it was almost grotesque, right? And she didn't like the way it sounded. Which again, I don't vibe with this because like I like all that nasty stuff except for the condom. I get that.
Yeah.
And whatever. So anyway. So we're on...
But weren't condoms made out of animal skin back then?
I don't know. Yeah, lamb skin.
I mean, they still are now.
Yeah, super gross. Sorry, lambs. And my name means lamb. How dare y'all?
I went Chick-fil-A.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. We have to bleep that out. Chapter 16. Oh, I didn't bring the thing about our drinking game, but I realized something I missed on the drinking game was anytime they mention a parent's death, we need to drink.
Oh.
Because that happens so often. That's mine.
I know. I don't want to.
So let's just start off.
You need to wait till later.
Start off. Listen. Giles walked back into his drawing room, Feeling as if someone had slammed an anvil onto his head, he mucked it up entirely. Yasmin had charged him with his own despicable behavior, and he couldn't defend himself because she was right. He had thought she was debauched.
What's that mean? Debauched? Is that like
skanky?
Oh, yucky. Okay.
Tainted. He had decided she was ineligible to be his countess. He had demanded her in thought and behavior. It was irrelevant that he was trying to fend off an attraction to her so deep that he felt buffeted by it. A staggering wave of despair went through him. He hadn't felt like this when his mother died. In fact, he considered himself immune to deep emotions. He'd realized that years ago when his father took his life, and he had to mimic the sad faces of others at the graveside. Listen, when I go to a funeral and I don't give a fuck if you died, I ain't mimicking shit. I'm going to sit there cold face, rolling my eyes like, bitch, I'm out. And that has done happened. And they were family. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, also a head up, if you have triggers, this is not the podcast to listen to.
Oh, yeah. If you get offended
by anything. All right.
We're sick of hearing it.
So anyway, since we've already taken 3 shots,
shit.
since we've already taken 3 shots, we're not taking a shot to that. All right.
How many have we taken?
Fucking 3. We're going to be trashed. Drink your water.
My face feels a little funny.
He heard the door open. No tea, he growled. Thank you very much for your opinion, his sister chirped. Yes, we will have tea, she said, presumably to Duckworthy, their butler. He didn't look up. Lydia sat down beside him in a flurry of skirts that made it clear she was still wearing her young debutante as opposed to the sensual matron wardrobe. What's the matter? You look uncharacteristically disheveled. She refused my proposal, his voice came out leading. All right, so they get
I know what that feels like. My dude sucks,
Aw.
man. Not a proposal. I was just trying to fuck and they said no, but you know, that's all good.
The 5th time. You had 4 to the 5th. Stop it. You got to fuck her 4 times.
4 times.
And she was like, I'm done. It's too much. It's so hard.
But
You
no,
choked
no.
me so much.
That wasn't even a discussion. It doesn't matter.
So anyway, sorry for my gulping. I hope you imagine something nasty when you hear that. So
I think Duckworth is my favorite character in this book so far.
Duckworthy.
Duckworthy, yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine him like spitting in people's tea when
oh
they're
my
fucking,
God.
Like, here's
All
your-
these butlers did.
like, here's your butter.
You remember the one movie where she baked her shit into the pie? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, I could think of the name
She's
of that
my
movie here in a
hero.
minute.
Yeah, but I don't know if we should say it.
I
I don't know if we're supposed to promote
don't really give a
anything.
fuck, dude.
It's The Color Purple, I think.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No.
No, oh shit, I'm fucking it up. How dare I? We'll call Kendra or my mom. She's watched it. Perhaps
The
I was
Help. It's called
The
The Help.
Help.
Yeah. She makes that dumb bitch eat a fucking shit pie.
Perhaps I was protecting myself when I treated Yasmin as less than a lady. That was unacceptable. We all make mistakes, Lydia said. You too, Giles. Granted, this is the first mistake that I can recall you making in years I've known you. He frowned at her. You're perfect, Lydia said flatly. Always perfect, as if we are from different families rather than merely different fathers. I fart, I stumble, I make an exhibition of myself. I can't help wanting revenge, even though it's unladylike. I rather like kissing strange men.
Oh.
He didn't.
Well.
So anyway, Giles is in his feelings too. He didn't break a window or dash the water pitcher into the fireplace, though those actions occurred to him.
They need to throw water in the fire over a fart?
No, he's
That's
just
insane to me.
No, his feelings, not a fucking fart. He didn't break a window or dash. Instead, he closed the door and tried to imagine a life without Yasmin, a life in which he knew they weren't together because he had hurt her. It was inconceivable. He needed a campaign to win Yasmin's hand in marriage, and unfortunately,
campaign. He's gonna go to war over this.
He's gonna fight against the other guy, I guess.
We'll find out. What other guy? He's the one that fucked her
That
just
one
now.
dude. No, that one dude that's trying to
With
win her
his
hand.
grotesquely huge penis.
Sylvester. Remember?
I think maybe I'm rooting
the
for Sylvester.
Duchess's son and blah blah blah. Anyway, listen.
That's what I'm going for. He's probably smoking a J in the back right now, and not giving a fuck.
Yeah, he's cool. After a few minutes of hard thought, he amended his goal. He needed to win her hand in marriage without doing anything nefarious, such as kidnapping her or seducing her.
Yeah,
again.
that's probably not gonna help.
Jesus, I can't believe that was an option. An hour later, his valet entered. Giles threw him a look, and the man backed out without a word. He sent away Lydia when she came knocking at his door. Only late at night, after he had fashioned a coherent campaign, did he ring his valet and ask for a meal, which he ate in his bedchamber, going over his strategy again and again, testing each turning point. He decided he wouldn't launch it for a week.
Whoa, what?
Yeah,
You're not gonna
give
launch
it a
what
week.
for a week?
The campaign.
Oh, I thought you meant like
his dick. Like, I ain't gonna J off for a week.
A week? Dude, you're going to be back
I'm
up.
abstinent now.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
So the hardest question he had to ask himself was marriage to him.
Why am I doing this?
Was marriage to him right for Yasmin? Which, way to go, dude. At least you're thinking that way.
Yeah, but he didn't really have that thought.
Yeah. So,
that was just something she put in the book. He didn't really think that.
Yeah. So blah, blah, blah. He's talking. So 2 days later at Mr. and Mrs. Addison's townhouse, Yasmin walked into Cleo's house to pay a morning call, her heart sinking when she heard the chatter of voices. She should have sent a message that evening before asking her friend to refuse visitors. Instead, she'd spent yet another night tossing in her bed, her mind spinning in miserable circles. Giles would never come back to her. She had shamed him, rightly or wrongly, and he was gone forever. A wave of sadness twisted her stomach. Her rejection of the Earl was as good as saying that she, at the age of 25, was giving up all of that. An erotic life, a love life, a family of her own. If she couldn't imagine the act with Giles, she certainly couldn't do it with anyone else, even Viscount Templeton. No matter how cuddly he was, she shuddered at the thought. Have a scone and some tea, Cleo said. You look exquisite as always, but if you'll forgive me, darling, you're not yourself. You are too thin.
Would you have married somebody that doesn't like to have sex?
No.
Me either.
But I do appreciate that you understand sometimes I don't want it or need it, and I need other things because our libidos ebb and flow.
I
it
get
happens.
that, but to be like
never,
like
not
that's
ever.
my thing. Like
No.
I have sex like twice to procreate, but that's it. Like really?
I mean, I guess I don't know if you were really comfortable with your vibrator, because sometimes even though we do have great sex, there are times where I'm like, I just want to go in the bathroom in the quiet by myself with a vibrator
I get that.
and some
That's
porn.
fine, whatever. But I'm just
But
saying, like,
I can't
do you
imagine
wanna
that
be
being
married
all
to
the
somebody
time.
that's like,
Because dude,
sex?
the
Like,
shit we get into,
we can
way too hot to give up.
Yeah, we get in some crazy stupid
Dude,
shit.
it's so awesome. I've been thinking about anal lately. I watched a lot of porn the other day.
You don't want me to tell this story?
Have you
girl.
watched double anal porn? It is
What
crazy.
the fuck is that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Man,
2
Trish,
dicks in the booty hole.
at the same time?
There's triple anal. I've
Whoa.
been watching some weird shit. So I wondered, and I'm going to just be honest with you because I
That's
didn't tell you this
crazy.
last night, but like I was like, when we were thinking about what horror movie to watch the other night, and I was like, it was like a creature feature. I've been watching like animated.
Tentacle porn?
No, it's monster porn.
Monster porn. There you go.
Dude,
Monster
they have
porn.
the alien movie, Alien Porn,
Shut up.
I'm
dude.
not
like
fucking
a
kidding.
xenomorph?
and face huggers. It's crazy.
That's weird.
Okay, well, I watch this kind of weird shit when I'm alone.
No, that's fine. Tear it up, girl.
Thanks, I do. All right, so
My wife, everybody.
where's the applause button? All right, so anyway, are you insinuating? Oh, wait, hold on. I have to read what somebody else said to her first. Okay. She said she's not feeling well this morning, and the chick says the last time I was queasy was when I was carrying my dear son Edwin. Yasmin's head was spinning with sadness, but she was tired of nasty whispers. Are you insinuating that I might have conceived a child with your poetry-writing son, Miss Turing? God forbid. And Yasmin said, you and I both know that I wouldn't be the bride in that scenario. Oh. And then guess what? Somebody walks in and said, I knew it. Yasmin turned her head slowly and realized for the first time that Lydia was in the room. Not only that, but she had leaped from her chair. I told my brother that you could not keep a secret. I told him you were a liar. All right. Now, technically,
shit.
she
Lydia's
didn't
getting
say.
ready to fight somebody.
Dude,
huh?
but Yasmin didn't say Lydia's fucking name. So who threw your ass out there on the?
You did, Lydia.
Yeah, all
you
right.
moron.
So get this. Cleo frowned at Lydia. My dear friend Yasmin is no liar. I must ask that you apologize, Lady Lydia. I'm sure that you did not mean what you just said. Well,
yeah, hold on, Lydia. I think you do owe her an apology.
here's
Let's
what
do it.
Yasmin says. Lady Lydia has no reason to apologize. The truth is that I entered a drawing room to find Mr. Turing proposing marriage to Lady Lydia on his knees in the most romantic fashion, as one would expect from him. I hasten to add that they were properly chaperoned. The young lady refused him, and he wept when she said no.
Rejection sucks, dude.
Well, but it's
Have you
not
ever
true
been rejected?
by a girl, and it was heartbreaking. Like, I don't go after guys. Guys go after me, and that's why I've usually had shitty guys until you. And then, but I tried going after a girl one time, and normally, again, girls come after me because I just talk about who I am and they like me. But then I gave my phone number to that one girl, and then we were trying to kind of talk, and then I was like,
Oh, I
so
remember
what's
this.
up? And she was like, what do you mean what's up? And I was like, oh my God. anyway, it didn't work out. And I was like, no, I'm never going to hit on anybody ever
Rejection's
again.
so cold, isn't it?
I didn't want to be with her anyway. She was prudish and lame. Anyway, I don't think she knew what it was like to be with a girl anyway. And I need somebody who knows a little bit of something, or who's eager enough about it that they'll get down and dirty. I want you to lick my kitty on the balcony of a hotel.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yes!
about. Oh, we're going to see them soon. It's gonna be so
I
fun.
can't wait.
I can't either.
I'm
to be
so
honest with you.
excited.
They're going to be, like, honestly, I think they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Out of everybody.
I agree.
Because, man, they're not shitty fucking people.
I know.
Like, y'all are putting on some
I
good
love
masks.
them.
Y'all are some shitty fucking people out there.
Shout
man.
out to our vacation friends if you're listening. We love you.
Man, for real.
We can't wait to put our mouths on you.
Both of y'all.
So anyway, there's a long talk with Cleo. So I skipped like 15 million pages. And I think she talks to Lydia too, actually.
Here.
So, oh my God. I don't
Did
know.
I switch? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm pink, you're blue. Obviously, I'm a girl.
But you're the one that told me pink was
Pink-
a boy's color
Pink.
at first, right?
Okay, yeah, if we're talking about the 1800s, men wore heels and pink and wigs and makeup. So all you fucking stuck-up dudes who think that shit is not for you or too feminine for you, get a life.
Just so everybody's clear, I'm one of those guys.
If I asked you to wear pink, I believe you would. And
probably
you
okay.
appreciate and allow LGBTQ to be themselves, and you don't
Of
hate
course.
on them. But these other people,
Never.
So chapter 18, Giles looked up when his butler entered his study. No interruptions, Duckworthy.
That's my character.
A missive has arrived that you would wish to read immediately. Giles had never seen Yasmin's handwriting, yet he knew instantly whose it was. Elegant copperplate in dark blue ink, rather than customary black, he ripped the folded sheet open. She wished to see him tomorrow morning or perhaps the next day whenever he had time to spare. So anyway, at the Duke of Portobello's mansion, he tossed the reins to his groom and told him to drive back to his stables. Once in the door, he handed his coat to Carson. Lady Yasmin? So he's already ridden over there, right? She's in the morning room, Lord. Giles jerked open the door. He strode into the room and looked about. Yasmin was asleep. She was seated in a large armchair, turned to the face of the fireplace. When he walked across the room, she didn't stir. Her head leaned against one wing of the chair, her hair rumpled like gleaming silk, her eyelashes lying on her cheek like a golden fringe. He crouched down in front of her, his fingers clenched against the urge to touch her. Instead, he looked at her carefully. When she was awake, he found himself absorbed by her eyes, cataloging the way they sparkled when she giggled, the way they shone with joy when they spun in a waltz. Now her cheeks were white. She looked thinner, almost drawn. Her eyes had faint blue circles beneath them. What had his girl done to herself in the past few days? A lot of cocaine. Without hesitation, he leaned forward and scooped her up, tucking her against his chest. Yasmin's indefinable perfume drifted to his nose, and his whole body relaxed. One of her hands curled confidingly against him, but her eyelashes didn't even flutter. Instead, she muttered something and turned her head into his chest. He realized he was smiling. So he headed to the door. Thankfully, Carson was no idiot. The butler backed away into the corridor. He ran into her grandfather. He said, "Good morning, Lord Lilfer." And he was like, I'm just trying to take care of her. And he said, "My granddaughter has been acting like someone with a broken heart." And he says, "She summoned me. Where shall I bring her?" And he said, "You may carry her upstairs, top of the stairs, second to the right." So the grandfather allows him to take her to his bedchamber, which is not...
Well, I think maybe Grandpa knows the thing.
Grandpa's cool as
He's
fuck.
probably like, look, these little traditions and rules and shit are like fun for the public, but we really don't give a fuck.
Dude,
about
I gotta
this.
say, the grandfather is one of my favorite people.
If I met an honorable rich person, I would
What do you
probably just go ahead and die.
What do you mean by
That's what I'm saying. Like, all these people are fucking rich in
laid
these
back,
books, but
open-minded, chill?
well, I'm just mean like actually meant their fucking what this crazy shit they say.
Well, does
I don't
anybody
man.
want to
I'm
know
fucking out
what
of my mind right now.
Yasmin's bedchamber's like?
Yeah, I do.
It was prepared. Oh, sorry. It was papered in cream silk, hand-painted with sprays of rosy dogwood blossoms. The bed was made up with pale pink linen, with mounds of fluffy pillows that seemed utterly unnecessary to Giles, and yet utterly delightful. Next to the fireplace was a haphazard stack of books. Beside it was a wide bowl full of buttons and another that seemed to be filled with twists of silk. Glancing at the window, he realized that it was covered with strings decorated with silk twists, like kite strings, only far prettier and more delicate. So honestly, like the only thing I vibe with her is that she's a little bit unique like me, you know, a little bit of a collector, a little bit like not kempt and minimalistic, you know? So
Yeah, I'm a minimalist.
yeah, well, that's just because you literally live next to a dumpster and you wouldn't give a
I'd be
fuck.
homeless.
You
no
don't
problem
you don't
at
even
all.
know what's around you when you walk in a room.
would-
And
I
I'm
would-
like, trinkets.
I would be so,
Collect all the
so
trinkets. Put me in a house with wood paneling. So I'm
I'd
in
be
a
out there with my sign
70s
flipping
cave.
everybody off.
Your cardboard just says fuck you.
Yes, yeah.
We should just do that for fun. All right. So anyway, she drifted awake. He wondered, I guess, if she was happy. She goes, "Sacre bleu," she exclaimed, looking up at him. "We're in my bedchamber. What are you doing here?" Under her bottom, she felt iron-hard legs and that ever-present erection. That was
ooh.
the one that caused him no pain, or so he said.
Well,
So
he
he
has pain
said,
with his erections?
No. He's like, I don't get blue balls. Like, it's cool. I get erect every time I'm around you, but it's all right. It's all right. Like,
So I don't need anything. It's just that my dick gets
he's
hard.
gonna jack off later. There's no way he doesn't.
All right.
Anyway,
That's
he's
like
like,
his thing, though.
he
huh?
just tells him he carried her
no,
upstairs.
don't touch it. I'm gonna touch it.
Yeah, I got this. Back off.
Yeah, nobody touches me like me.
It's cute because she's like, you should be in here. And he's like, I expect your grandfather feels that ship sailed. When I locked the drawing room door last week after I found you asleep, I carried you. I carried you here on
Scarried you? Like a scary carry?
It's like scuttering, like
Oh,
skittle,
okay.
scutter. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
it.
skip while you have them in your arms.
Anyway, so that means her granddad knows they were fucking. All right, he's like, you are not being compromised. I
He
would
doesn't
never
care.
force you to marry me. And she's like, did you talk to Lydia? He's like, about what? And she tells him, I did something that will make you angry. He's like, I doubt that. And she explains to him that situation, you know, but he's like, it sounds like you didn't actually fuck up. It sounds like Lydia kind of compromised herself in that situation. It sounds like you saved it, right? You know, so they get to talking about themselves. Yasmin made herself keep going. Even though I lived up to all your worst ideas about me, I'm a gossip who shared hurtful information. And he said, I often told myself that I disliked you. She flinched, keeping her eyes on his. So you said. He says, it was because I like you so much. I want to hear all your gossip. From the moment I met you, I felt like a moth drawn to a flame, and it had nothing to do with desire. Desirable women are everywhere but you. Your courage and joy and pure love of life, the way you tease and giggle and dance through the day. I don't want a useful wife. I want you. Only you. I want to be the only one who kisses you.
Yes. Like, if you want me as a wife, other men are going to be kissing me and fucking me, and you're going to be sitting there cleaning the house.
Cuckold.
Giles.
Yasmin cleared her throat. Actually, I haven't kissed very many men, Giles. He says,
she's a lady killer.
May I? She swallowed hard. All the time she had been flirting with Giles, trying to get him to drop his proper demeanor, she had been counting on the man behind the facade. A man whom only she would know, who had saved himself for her. Now she saw that man in his eyes. I know you don't wish for further intimacies, Giles offered. I remember, Yasmin. I will never forget that, nor ask you to do something you don't care for. At least he's being respectful now.
He's going to be really horny here in a few years of marriage.
Now she looked up at Giles' clear, grave eyes and couldn't stop the happiness that bubbled up inside her. She leaned in and kissed him rather than the other way around. Giles' arms wound around Yasmin and heat coursed through her, healing the cracks in her heart. When she drew back to take a breath, his mouth slid along the line of her jaw and teeth gently tugged at her earlobe. It felt so good and yet so silly that she burst into giggles. What are you doing? She asked. Giles came back to her mouth. You make me want to bite you. I love when you bite me.
I do too.
I like everything you do. It's all so dirty. Chapter 19. The only sound in Yasmin's bedchamber was a
Oh,
lonely...
God. Oh.
No.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, my, her grandpa standing outside the door guarding us. Oh, my God.
No, it wasn't. It was a lonely sparrow chirping outside the
So
window.
stupid.
Somewhere in the bowels of the house, comforting sounds suggested that a meal was being prepared. I don't know how to trust your feelings about me, she said haltingly. What will happen to your title without an heir? I promise you that if you agree to marry me, I will simply kiss you for all the days of our life, if that is your wish. I have never heard of such a marriage. The corner of
That's
his
because
mouth
it's not real. He's just talking shit.
curled up. No one knows what goes
We
on
will
in a
say
couple's intimate life.
anything when we want to fuck.
You're so sweet. I like that. He says it might be best if we didn't have children. My father was too unhappy to be a good parent, so I have no idea how a father behaves. Yasmin took a gulping breath. The uncompromising honesty in his voice was convincing. She could have Giles, the man whom she danced with, was entranced by, and had dreamed about. Her eyes flashed.
She also fucked him, right?
Well, her eyes flashed down below his waist.
Uh-oh, it's time.
His mouth quirked up. That's irrelevant. He flattened her palm against
Don't
his
you look
chest.
at my cock?
Marry me, Yasmin, please. She could feel the lump. Oh, she could feel the thump.
Wow.
She could feel the thump of his heart under her fingers. It didn't make her uncomfortable
And
anymore.
she felt the thump of his cock on her knee.
The thump on her face.
Flop, flop.
It
Yeah, we know
didn't
this
make her
about.
uncomfortable any more than did the hungry desire in his eyes. We would have a platonic marriage, though you would be welcome to kiss me at any time, day or night, Giles said, his voice deepening with a hungry edge. A sizzle of heat went down Yasmin's back, in private or public.
Man,
he
who
offered.
wants that? That's so boring. You guys suck.
Yeah, I'll kiss you on the ballroom floor. The very
Wait, what?
proper-
Oh.
I'll kiss you on the balls. But nothing more, sir.
Just on the balls.
Just those hairy, sagging balls.
Yeah.
La, 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 la,
They
la.
didn't even have razors in the 1800s.
She leaned forward and brushed her mouth against his. Here in my bedchamber, 'twould be a scandal if anyone knew.
You're already in there.
Only if you want to. I do want to kiss, she breathed. His tongue flicked her lip, and she opened her mouth with a gasp. It felt like hours later when Yasmin finally pulled herself away. True to his word, Giles hadn't touched her, which meant, annoyingly, that she wished he would. He had talked, though. His deep, rumbling voice told her that she made him ache with desire, that he wanted to breakfast with her, that she smelled
with you.
like elderflowers.
Rumble with
You make me
desire.
want pancakes.
Dude, I want pancakes. I wish we had a Waffle House.
I know, with a hint of raspberry, that he wanted to see her grow old. That and his kisses made her muddled and hot so much that alarm pulsed through her. We should probably leave my bedchamber, she murmured. I can't imagine what the household thinks of us. Will you marry me? Giles' big hands were at her waist and his eyes were dark with lust. His voice had that aching tone he never used in public that she heard only when they were together alone. How could she not marry him?
I don't know.
Are you in love with me? She asked.
That's a bold question.
He froze.
Yeah, he did.
Giles cleared his throat.
I wasn't expecting you to ask that. I was really just trying to get my cock set.
Well, being in love is not a condition to which Englishmen are prone. I would like to marry you, Yasmin. I want you and no one else to be my countess.
It's all political, really, if you think about it. That's what he's trying to say, right? Like, I don't really love you. And
I
it
like
doesn't really
you.
matter. I like you, and you can propel me forward.
Yeah. Yes, I will marry you, she told him for the second time. But not immediately, she says.
Of course not.
He said, excellent, I shall court you. You want to court me? With roses and champagne, dancing with you twice and openly scowling at other men who touch your hand, walking with you in the garden and kissing you within sight of chaperones, bringing you gifts, letting everyone in the world know that I am at your feet. I've had to pretend
I know women
otherwise.
don't like that from real world experience.
What? I like to be courted.
Dude, I like courting you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Emma,
I
look
thought
at
you
your
were going
dimp-
somewhere else with
Look
that.
at your dimples.
Shut up.
Oh
I'm
my
like so
God.
casually
You're
like
so
put
pretty.
together today.
You're wearing a shirt with an alien and a cat on it.
It says chill. I think it's like an exclamation point. So it's like chill.
You should,
Chill. Yeah, dude. Like this is me. That's me. That's me with my cat. So I went to a thing today out in a town where we were, and there was a stray cat, and it let me pet it, and I wanted to take it home so bad. It let me pet it. It like sniffed my finger, and then it was like, "Sure, you can pet me." And I was like, "I'm gonna take you home."
No more animals, please.
It didn't even look like it had fleas. It was clean. It was hiding under a car because of the rain. I'm gonna start carrying cat food with me everywhere. All right. So anyway. So he's going to court her. He's going to date her. All right. Giles, you have to admit, Giles, that if you suddenly began wooing me rather than acting as if you despise me, all of society would be transfixed.
Who cares?
I never despised you. You did. You used to look across the ballroom at me with the nasty expression as if I were a small rodent. Get this. His eyes glittered. A small, sexy rodent.
Oh,
what the
Giles,
fuck?
Giles, that pickup line was the shit.
What the fuck?
Little sexy mouse.
Oh my god.
We broke all your stuff.
All right, yeah, like we're fucking shit up. Anyway, you take your time to fix that, since you're so good with your hands, and I will tell you the rest of what they said. They kissed until she was more than clinging. One hand was deep in his hair and the other stroking the broad planes of his chest. He must be a really big guy. She's like, worse than a rodent, sometimes beneath notice and blah, 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 Anyway, I guess they're maybe leaving each other, and Yasmin came up on her toes, brushed a kiss on his lips, and she says, "No courting me in public." And he said, "I shall pay you a visit every evening if I don't see you during the day."
And she's like, "No, I don't really want to."
And she says, "Only if her grandfather agrees." And he said, "Your grandfather allowed me to carry you into your bedchamber. He didn't challenge me to a duel with his butler when his butler informed him of the locked drawing room door. Your grandfather wants me to marry you." So, yeah. All right. So, I guess they started touching, and she sprang away, startled by the sweet ache she felt between her legs.
Oh, a sweet ache?
He said, "You'll have to learn to ignore it."
Well, yeah, because you don't like fucking.
Mm-hmm. Yasmin felt heat spilling into her cheeks, but she didn't know what to say.
We're going to have the first celibate marriage.
He leaned in and took one more kiss. "Tomorrow." You were kind of sweet at the beginning of us dating, though. I mean,
I never told you that we weren't going to fuck.
Well, but when I said don't look, you didn't look.
I didn't. No.
But that's the same situation. And then we eased into it.
But I will tell you that on the Christopher scale, Giles is like a 6.
Of like being a pussy or what?
Excuse me?
What do you mean? What is scale? Scale of what?
Like handling his woman. The Christopher scale?
Like, you mean he's
I'm
doing
the best
fairly
at
good?
10? No, dude.
6. What's 10?
Me.
No, I mean,
Ugh.
I'm confused. I wasn't sure what the scale was. So he's not so bad, but he's not so great, right?
He sucks, dude.
So you shouldn't give him a 6 then. 6 is high.
I guess.
6 is high. I had a dude tell me one time, I don't know, I was a 6 or 7, and I was like, "Get the fuck out."
Were y'all dating?
You know what? He was an uncircumcised pencil dick.
Oh. Y'all were dating.
Fucking loser, all right? So
You saw his weenus?
I can tell you he can deep throat a dildo, though.
Oh.
You know who
Congratulations.
I'm talking about.
I do know who you're talking about.
Cheers.
Congratulations for being able to deep throat, my friend. I'll let you know that she can too now.
Yay! I learned for you, babe. Cheers.
We're animals. I'm going to get assassinated in this fucking town.
If anybody's going to assassinate you, it's going to be me. Don't you dare touch him. I get first dibs. Anyway, I'll only halfway assassinate you because I want to like still use your body.
Yeah, it's a nice body.
Oh my god, if you ever became a vegetable, best believe I'm gonna throat some Viagra in you and grind on that shit in the hospital bed.
I know it's good, right?
Ay. Should we go ahead and just in case do one of those penis molds so that if for any reason you leave this earth before me, I can still get off to just you? Because let me tell you, I don't want just any dildo.
On. You tell me.
Tell
I want
you
you. No, seriously. Tell everybody why you're telling me.
Tell you what?
I don't know what you're gonna tell me. You want to make a mold of my dick? Why?
Yeah, because it's so perfect, so amazing, and it's the only one I'd ever want to put in me ever again. Nobody lives up to that. And I don't know what they edited out of the last episode, because I did tell them you and Kendra were talking for way too long. Again, we're really great friends, and we had a great time, but at the same time, that was a lot of conversation. But man, the look on her face. Just seeing a silhouette, all right? I'm so proud to be yours and to have you. Anyway, if OnlyFans would ever fucking accept the tag I keep trying to put, everybody else could see what your dick looks like. God damn it!
It's pretty.
It's so fucking pretty.
It's pretty.
It is literally the image of perfection, like what every woman should want. It's not too big, but it is definitely not little. It has no imperfections.
None.
It's just the perfect. It's just perfect. Anyway.
I want to beat up that cervix.
Enough of how lucky I am. We're on to chapter 20.
How many chapters are we doing?
I don't know.
All right.
I think we only have a couple more.
All right.
I read like 5 yesterday. I was like, rah! All right. So the following afternoon, Yasmin walked into the tea party only to discover that her fiance had accompanied his sister there.
Man, y'all are supposed to be doing that. Y'all brother and sister. Get out of bed together.
Oh, yeah. So we were playing GTA. And then if you don't play GTA, you should. And if you don't listen to the talk radio when you play GTA, you should. And the other day, this guy's
so
brothers
funny.
and sisters, you should not be in bed together. It was great. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
All right, we had to pause it. We were laughing so fucking
I did
hard
not
at
see
that.
it coming. So, not that anyone would guess they were betrothed. So, I thought betrothed meant you're already married, but I guess that means fiancéed.
It does mean it's engaged. Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Betrothed and engaged.
It sounds like promised to, whatever.
Yeah, same thing.
So
You know when like 13-year-old girls get promise rings and like, we're gonna get married when
I had 2 teenage boys who were pieces of shit ask me to marry them with, I am fairly certain, stolen rings.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I'm fairly certain that last dude I
I
talked
carved
about.
yours out of a fucking meteor.
I know, thank you, babe. You picked out the perfect, most unique one, and I have people all the time tell me, I've never seen a ring like that.
You damn
I'm
right.
like, yeah, bitch, because there's only one. It's on my fucking finger. Back off. But anyway, no, then the other dude that I was just talking about, I'm pretty sure he gave me a necklace that was stolen too. Like, all he did was steal. But, I mean, I guess that's nice because you also steal stuff for me out of every Airbnb we ever go to.
Yeah.
Dude, that seagull is way too big for our bathroom.
I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
I need a shelf just
But
for
I
this.
figure that's a good tradition. Every time we go to an overpriced fucking Airbnb, I take shit.
I know. I have so many cute
Not
things.
shit. I mean, just like, it's like a one.
it's things I like.
It's just one thing. I mean, we paid for it.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Mm.
Surely they
Morally,
no.
no.
Because I don't take. It's not like I'm taking diamond rings and shit. I'm taking like garbage.
It's not.
It was pretty fucking cool. That thing
Okay.
probably costs $8 at a garage sale.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so if
It's
you want to
pretty
know where our
fucking cool.
morality lies, it's low.
This is pretty low.
So, an hour or so later, when she walked upstairs to visit the ladies' withdrawing room, feeling forlorn and a bit lonely, she saw her fiance. Saw wasn't the right word. Giles came up the stairs behind her, his legs eating up the steps.
Oh, dick swinging.
Yeah, his expression had changed from austere to hungry. Oh, Yasmin breathed. Yeah, she said that. Jinx. He backed her into someone's bedchamber.
Wait, she said, oh.
Mm-hmm. He backed her into someone's bedchamber and shut the door smartly behind them. Giles, no talking, he growled. May I kiss you? Always, she rasped, her heart speeding up. He spun her against the door, his mouth descending on her parted lips in a feverish kiss that sent heat coursing through her body. She pushed back his coat so that she could spread her hands over his chest, her fingers stroking slabs of muscle barely disguised by a linen shirt. Giles was kissing the side of her neck, making grumbling noises in the back of his throat that made her thighs shake. I can't, like Batman. I can't stop thinking about you, he growled. The way you smell and the taste of your mouth and your skin, the way you moan in the back of your throat. Giles, he looked up. Her gown was sophisticated, dissolute, suggestive. The neckline barely skimmed her nipples. Oh. Yasmin looked him straight in the eye and yanked her bodice down. She was wearing a French corset, the kind that hoisted her bosom into the air without covering it. Giles's lips drifted over her breasts in a display of tenderness that was endearing endearing, but not enough.
And then he fucking came in his pants.
Her hand slid under his shirt and she pulled it free of his waistband. More, she ordered, and then added, please. Your wish is my command. Giles moved back, wrenched off his coat, pulled off his shirt.
I think we need to put that on the drinking game. Every time they go more, and they go, my wish is your command.
Yeah, I think they have said it before.
That shit happens in every book. That same
Well, does this
fucking
happen?
line.
She said, thunderation.
Stop.
What
That's
is
not
that?
even a word.
Thunderation, Yasmin said blankly. Oh, wait, blankly. What is blankly? Thunderation. Thunderation? Thunderation.
Man, have y'all ever had sex?
Her eyes drifted over the plains. Well, okay, look. Let me, okay.
Yeah,
Stop.
slam the book down and tell me. Pause.
I need to get on my soapbox.
Get on us.
Eloisa James and What's Her Fucking Face and What's Her Fucking Face. All these women that write these books. Why the fuck do you want to talk about your fucking parents so much while you're trying to fuck? And why do you want to talk about parents' deaths? Why is that so erotic? And there's a part in this book, I haven't even gotten to it yet, and I don't remember if I highlighted it, but they are literally trying to get down and dirty while talking about his father's sense of smell. I haven't gotten there yet, but what the fuck? Why? I swear to God, we don't have pictures of anybody but each other in our fucking bedroom because I swear to God, my parents and my children better not be in this room where I'm trying to get down and get it in my booty. Like, what the fuck?
I think that we're going to have some anal later.
Man, that's got to be later. I'm still not ready.
I don't know, dude.
That
You
one
sound
night you
ready.
gave it to me too hard. We were in the wrong position. It hurt so bad.
We won't be in the wrong position this time. We're going to push it in, girl. It'll be all right.
Take me on a vacation and we'll see.
I'm taking you on a vacation.
We are going out of town for one night.
No. We're going out of town for like a week. We're working on it. Matter of fact, you need to get on that.
I'll work on it. All right, so where were they? Thunderation.
Thunderation.
Touch me, he commanded. He says, touch me, Mina. Put your hands on me.
What do you call her?
Mina.
That's
I
not
think
her
her
name.
full name is Yasmina. I don't know, but hold on. Her name is Yasmin. So there's something about that coming up.
She's going to be like, that's my fucking sister.
Shut up.
Mina and Yasmin.
I think she's an only child. But anyway, so listen. She felt the sleek point. Sleek?
What?
Hold on. She felt the sleek point of a nipple under her thumb and his body jerked. She returned to the spot again, listening to his breathing coming harder. Then she pulled back her hands, running them under her breasts so they plumped up. Kiss me again, she invited, not the sweet kind.
Oh.
Dude, yeah.
So she's sitting there like this.
Hey!
And she's like, come get some.
Like that one video.
Giles.
His mouth fastened on her nipple, pushing her hand away. The caress wasn't like anything she'd felt before. The lips that looked carved and disdainful suckled her nipple until she gave a little scream. He nipped her and laughed low in his throat. Her round breasts looked small in his hand, even though they were larger than most women's. She could feel herself, her fouffon, growing plump and slick, which would have distracted
her
pussy.
The pussy?
Mm-hmm. Her body was focused on what he was doing. A moan came from her throat and a sound she'd never made before, husky, and accompanied by a shiver. Her fingernails curled into his chest, pricking. I love that sound, Giles said under his breath. It makes me think that you want me almost as much as I want you. His head lifted from her breast, breathing hard. His eyes met hers.
And ruined it. His dick fell apart and couldn't make it happen.
Don't stop, she whispered. We must. We've been here too long, he said.
We've
Giles
been here too long.
pulled up her bodice. Yasmin winced as cloth brushed her nipples. He turned, grabbed his shirt, and pulled it over his head, shoving it into his breeches.
Breeches.
It really, I feel like breeches should be like B-R-I, but this is B-R-E-E-C-H-E-S. And I'm like, okay, you're clearly not from the South because it'd be breeches. B-R-I-T-C-H. Britches is B-R-I-T-C-H. It's almost
Hillbilly
like
britches,
bitches. Like britches?
I always felt like britches were like overalls.
Britches are your fucking pants.
I know they
Get them
are,
out
but
your
I'm just
drawers.
saying, like, it sounds like
Your
that.
drawers and your britches. Well, I'm more Southern than you. You have to admit that publicly.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Absolutely.
I hail from very northern places. Look at this.
Yeah, but you
Look at
were
me.
raised in the white collar community, and I'm from the fucking sticks.
I abandoned all of it.
With his coat on, blah, blah, blah.
And
She
not
looked
just for
below.
anybody. I did it for me.
Then he starts talking about who he's going to pay a visit to. Oh, he's saying he needs to get different pants because he's shocking the matrons
With his dingus?
who know where to look.
Oh.
Because he's like fucking hard all the time, I guess.
What?
Whatever.
Hey, yeah, dude, he hadn't fucked. Like, well, how old is he?
Yeah, I don't know, 20-something, 30-something.
30-something
The next day, they kissed in a dark corner of Lord Breckenridge's house. Oh, the following day was Sunday, and she accompanied her grandfather to the church. Though Giles lived in the parish, she's rarely seen him at the service, but he was there with his sister. Anyway, this gets really kinky.
Oh, let's go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So after service, Giles sauntered up and
Wait,
explained.
What kind of service?
Church.
Oh, yeah.
Giles sauntered up.
Time to defile our religion.
Yes.
Let's get after it.
And explained that Lydia had decided to accompany a friend to Gunter's tea shop to try the fashionable lavender ice, and would Lady Yasmin care to see the tombstone of one of his ancestors.
Oh, let's go fuck on your grandpa's grave.
Dude, I'm just saying. Did anyone watch us leave? She whispered. I doubt it. Your grandfather is a wily accomplice. Hey, Grandpa. What's
He's
up?
getting in on this?
Giles plucked Yasmin up, sat her down on the flat marble surface, and kissed her. Perhaps we oughtn't, she whispered. It's not polite here on Margaret's tomb, Giles laughed. Actually laughed, because he doesn't normally. Would that bodice pull down like your other one? She demonstrated, and his laugh turned to a groan. His hair slipped through her fingers like silk. Oh. Then she couldn't think anymore, because he was sucking her nipples so hard that her back arched toward him. She gasped and then bit her lips so that no sound would go up the stone steps. If her skirt hadn't been so narrow, she would have wrapped her legs around his waist, if only to relieve the intolerable feeling of emptiness between her legs. What? Giles asked. More, she whispered. Next time, he said. Yasmin looked down at her body in shock. Her nipples were standing out against the light cotton of her bodice. Her thighs were clenched together in a useless attempt to assuage the ache between her legs. Darling, Giles said, think about what you want to ask me for the next time we see each other. Yasmin's hand shot out and grabbed his
horse,
Don't
2
go.
carriages,
I
and a
must,
house.
as you must. So they had to leave.
This is all real sweet and everything, but have they ever actually had sex?
Yes,
like
on the
because
thing.
I feel like if it was us talking, I'd be like, he's just choking her till her eyeballs try and pop
my God, I
out.
love when you do that. All right, we have at least 3 chapters left, so let's try to hurry up and stop getting me drunk.
All right.
The next evening, Yasmin dressed for a dinner party at the Addisons' house with a particular care. Lydia, Giles, and Lord Pettigrew were also invited, part of the celebrations that followed the announcements of Lydia's betrothal. So Giles' sister is officially gonna fucking finally get married to somebody and stop being a whore.
It's about time she stops being a whore.
Yeah, so...
She's been fucking Dirkworthy in the
everybody.
back.
Anyway,
over and over
Yasmin's
again.
thinking about getting fucked on the tomb, even though they didn't fuck, but it was kinky, and I love kinky.
So they didn't do it?
Yasmin was late to the Addisons' house. As the butler took their outer garments, Jake Addison wandered into the entry, bowed, and then slapped Giles on the back in an American way that Giles ought to despise, but somehow didn't.
Right on the ass.
Good to see you, Jake. Good game. It's always a pleasure, Giles bowed. My wife tells me that you're winning the contest between yourself and the Duke of Huntington. Likely you know, but Viscount Templeton is topping the bets at White's. I've won, Giles thought, but he kept his mouth shut. Yasmin means a good deal to myself and my wife, Jake said. Giles suddenly realized that the American didn't have a carefree look in his eye. In fact, he seemed rather dangerous. Are you threatening me? He asked, curious.
I am. Ha ha.
Well, they both boxed in Gentleman Jackson's boxing saloon, but they'd never engaged in a bout. I was simply informing you how very, very fond Cleo is of Lady Yasmin. We wouldn't want to see Yasmin's heart broken or her spirit crushed. I would never do such a thing, Giles said. So, Yasmin and Lord Lilford see each other. He thinks his fiancée is so damn beautiful. Her hair darkened to the color of aged amber in the candlelight, and her eyes dance with happiness, presumably to see him. All right, so they get to flirting during dinner, but they're being a little bit iffy, like touching hands, playing footsie, being a little kinky. Yasmin pretends to be sick, which Cleo kind of gets pissed about because she's like, this might fuck up my chef's reputation. Other people might start thinking they're going to get sick. But anyway, they leave dinner, right? And he's like, I must escort her home. They have a
and nobody's like, oh, that's weird.
No. Basic conversation occurs then. Giles caught Yasmin in his arms, his mouth crashing down on hers. In moments, Yasmin felt tender and hot, her whole being shamelessly focusing on
What?
focusing on enticing. What's his fucking face? To do more than kiss her, touch her, stroke her. I'm sorry, honey, but only men get stroked. You get pounded.
Like how
I don't know. You can stroke the
I
pussy.
mean, I guess so. But that's
Oh my
boring.
God! Don't
Hold
do
on.
that.
Oh, you hate it when I do that.
Stop
Hold on,
it!
look.
But I love it when you do that.
Wait,
I hate it.
Hold on. Stop talking. Everybody, listen to this. Just shut up. Listen. Like this. What? Put your face in the microphone.
Babe,
Yes?
I
Hold
want
on.
you to do that
Wait.
later. Oh my God!
Wait, no. Like this.
Oh, I love when you do that. Oh, hello. Oh my
This
God.
is how we got married.
I know, because I would sit in between your legs and
I know, and I
my
would be
back
like
to
this,
your chest.
And you'd be watching movies, and I just sit there like this.
Oh my God.
Wait, like this.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Oh.
Stop. Just listen. And then I would be like stuff like this.
Oh, are you about to choke me?
Dude, look at my hands.
I love when you do that.
Look like this.
Oh.
So, don't listen to this. Wait, hold on. It's like this.
Oh my God. We need to videotape
And
us
then,
doing that from this perspective.
Like
It's
this,
very
like,
hot.
like,
Oh,
right? And,
babe.
ooh. And that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you just sit there like this.
Oh, honey. You. Oh my God. Your tongue. Ah! We should really get someone else to film us fucking. We need better perspectives.
We have somebody that'll help.
What? Devin?
Man, you better stop saying names.
He didn't give a fuck. Who's Devin?
Yeah, Devin, dude, for sure. He would definitely do it.
I don't know. I need a real camera.
I love him.
I do, but I need somebody who's like knows the angles.
I think he could probably work it out.
Yeah, all right.
He's a smart fella.
I'm gonna pause to like chug this water.
Do you want another one or no? Are you driving? You have to because you got the sobriety tools. I'm driving? Well, then this is mine then.
No, sir. No, you don't tell me what to do until we're in the bed together, and then.
Well, I can't drive then.
Well, you can give me a shot.
I want to go to Chick-fil-A.
Sick of hearing that name. All right, so.
But it's good, man.
All right, so his fingers flexed once, and she bit back a moan. Tell me how it feels, he crooned.
Like you're biting my clit.
What should I do next, Mina? Mina?
Oh, shit. That's my sister's name.
Mina, you called me that before. He says, when I am in my bed alone at night, I think of you as Mina. It's your name, and it's almost mine.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, so I think her full name is Yasmina, and it's close to being mine. So when he's jaying off, he's like, she's Mina. So every time they get Frankie, he calls her Mina, which is
Frankie?
cute. God damn it.
Oh, man. We haven't even had one drinking game drink yet. This is
Yeah,
just
no,
been us being
technically we
fucked
got
up.
ahead of ourselves, and there's been several opportunities. All
I
right.
wish we had a Waffle House here.
Oh, my God. All right.
A Waffle House, please fucking
In the
sponsor us.
back of her mind, in the
We'll
back
take
of her
food payments.
a voice was reminding her that she didn't want the messy part, but this part. Because they were kissing and rocking against each other, and all of a sudden he pulled away, moving his hand, pulling her skirt over her knees, picking her up like a rag doll, and placing her on the opposite
Wait.
seat.
Pause. She doesn't like to have sex, dude.
Hold on. No, she gasped.
I knew it.
But she was saying
Wait,
no.
what?
No.
I don't like having vaginal intercourse.
Okay. Here's what was happening. They were fucking around in the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled her off of him. She said no, and he was like, we have arrived to their destination. So, you know, that's how it goes. So anyway, he was just like, no, we're here. We're here where we're supposed to be.
Start a fucking cult.
All right, so Yasmin walked up the stairs, aware that all the delicious body heat was leaking out of her. Do you remember in the one book?
I'm a
not
special.
the. Was it the
I'm
Billy?
a specialist
No.
at making things leak.
Two-faced man. Two-faced man. You made a joke about her leaking on him and him having a cigarette and shit like that. Anyway, blah blah blah.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he still had that girl thugging.
She says, okay, so Yasmin said she would like to try to make love again.
Oh, I want to try again.
He says, there's
I
no
don't
rush,
have a
Yasmin.
condom.
We're not married yet. And she said, but we are betrothed. He said, true.
Oh, they are engaged.
Yes. Yeah. She finally said yes. Okay, so
Is it?
Why am I sometimes? Oh, she says, why am I sometimes Mina and sometimes Yasmin? She asked. A thick lock of hair had fallen over.
He's like, Mina's the one that has sex with me in my dreams. Yasmin's the one that doesn't like to have sex and just kisses me, gets me all turned on, and make me have to go to sleep and jam my pud in the fucking
Mina
comforter.
When I have no control. The moment I saw you in this gown, I felt like a wild man.
Giles?
I want to make love, she whispered. All right. Giles' eyes glowed with a deep happiness. May I have permission to ravish you? And she said, as long as there's no condom involved.
Uh-oh.
He said, we might
time.
conceive a child. She said, I like babies. I do not like that chicken skin thing with a ribbon, which, hell yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't do that.
After that, it seemed a minute until her new gown was off and her corset and camise? I'm not a lady. Giles unwrapped her as if she were the most precious gift he'd ever been given, and all the time he talked. Apparently she, Mina, was a peach that he wanted to eat every day of his life. You make me feel that way, babe. Anyway, she watched Giles undressed, and here's a moment where I felt kind of what she felt, but not the so she like felt some, I don't know, is the right word reverence, some pullback. He wrenched off his boots, pulled down his breeches and smalls, throwing them on a chair with his crumpled shirt. He was more heavy-boned and muscled than she had imagined when he turned around his rear. Was she supposed to think a man's arse was beautiful? Likely not. She wasn't sure. Probably not. But her eyes gobbled up his rounded, muscled globes and little hollows on the sides.
Oh, no, I have a cute butt.
Oh, my God. You have the best fucking ass, dude. From the front, he was so much more than any erotic drawing she'd seen that she closed her eyes for a moment. His cock stood up proudly, and without that wrinkled condom covering it, she thought she'd like to touch him, so she did. Giles sucked in a breath and then eased onto the bed. Knees on either side of her, her hand slipped away and circled his neck because he was kissing her again, deep and sweet. I want to taste you first, he said. Her heart was already beating quickly, but at that, it started hammering. Her legs were trembling, too, but before she had time to think about it, he slid down her body. He licked her then, and a breathy moan came out of her mouth before she could stop it.
Oh, sorry, Frank just came in there. You shouldn't be licking that.
In truth, she didn't try to stop herself from crying out or rocking her hips or any of the embarrassing, lustful things she did. With sensation sparked through her legs and her hips arched, shoving against his mouth and his hand, against the feeling that was too much for her body, she cried out in sheer pleasure, utter joy. May I touch you? He looked down at her with feverish eyes and said, whatever you want, Mina. So she's the one that asked if she could touch him. So she starts fucking with him, right?
Puts a finger in his butt.
But he didn't
pinches
speak,
a nipple.
which fascinated her so much that she tried her best to enchant him into words. She ran her hand down his stomach to his cock and acquainted herself with its thick strength, which you definitely have. The way it jerked in her hand, a shuddering groan broke from his lips. The head felt softer, smoother, hotter than the rest. She could see a pulsing beat in his throat, but still he said nothing. Even when she put her lips there and kissed him, let her tongue roll over the rounded top until his gasps were greedy and loud. Then he reached out for her and said, Mina. Only that word, the name he had given her, but his voice was hoarse and sent fire cascading through her limbs again.
Yeah, speaking of cascading, this dude's about to blow his fucking load, isn't he?
Rational thought melted away because
30
the
years
hard,
of backup.
smooth length of him slid inside with no squelching noise from the condom. His harsh breathing as he sank deeper was fuel to the fire raging in her limbs. Is it painful, Mina? Giles asked, his voice a full octave lower than normal. She shook her head. You feel large and hot, she added. He pushed forward, sending a bolt of lightning down her legs. Her eyes widened. Mon Dieu.
That was hot. Speak French later.
I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea.
Just make it up. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
either.
Oh, sacre bleu.
Omelette tout fromage.
Okay. With a groan, he pulled her hips up and a strangled moan tore from her throat. Yes, he breathed. With a last thrust, he sent Yasmin tumbling again into burning heat, a scream escaping her. Afterward, they lay beside each other, Yasmin's heart thundering
over?
in her ears. Her body pricked with the sweat and heat, and yet the clearest sensation was in her hand, her left hand. Giles's big hand was curled around hers. She could
what's
feel
his
his
little
strong. This is my good hand. Her whole body was thrumming with warm satisfaction, but those two interlocked hands, they felt like safety. Finally, Giles propped himself up and brushed damp hair off Yasmin's forehead. That was more than I could ever imagine, than I did picture. You imagined making love for me from the moment I saw you.
Rachel,
Hmm?
I've been jerking off about you since I was like 13 years old.
Babe.
I tell you that all the time,
I
but
love you.
I seen you that first time, and I was like, oh.
Babe.
Went home, beat it up.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
I can't wait to satisfy
And
that
just a
urge
few years later, like a decade
later.
later, I finally got to hit it on that golden couch.
I'll let you keep hitting it every day, baby.
I don't know.
When I'm not tired.
When I'm not sleepy
I'm so
and work
tired.
hasn't been too
And
hard.
I'm so stressed.
And there's kids home.
Oh my god.
We have this whole other life where we have to whole fake this crazy American shit. It's weird.
Anyway, they did it again.
They
right?
fucked again?
I did it again.
We heard it. Yeah, they just told the story.
He kissed his way down her body. It was easier for Yasmin to let pleasure take over this time. At his first lap, she arched up with a gasp. Giles crooned to her a flood of unintelligible hoarse words. He drove her to the edge by bringing a broad finger into play, making her whole body catch fire.
He set her on fire?
Then he says, "Now, Mina."
Now, Mina.
And she came.
Damn. Does
All
it say
right.
that?
Basically. Anyway.
Grandpa standing outside still listening.
God damn. All right, where am I ending? The weeks that followed were the happiest of Yasmin's life. Lydia pranced around London with her brother on one arm and her fiance on the other, celebrating her status as a newly betrothed lady. Yasmin and Giles often found themselves at the same event. He would bow before her intoning? I don't know what that means. Lady Yasmin, in a flat voice, she would curtsy and walk away, giving her hips an extra wiggle, knowing that he was watching. Flirtation.
Every time I hear the word curtsy, I think of Alice in Wonderland. We were tripping on acid. It's just so fucking fun.
I love tripping and watching Alice in Wonderland
It's
with
just
you.
like, curtsy, darling. Curtsy.
curtsy, dear. It's like, oh, yes, I'm sorry, but what was I saying? Like, bitch, how do I get the fuck home? Oh, play this game of croquet with me first.
Oh, I love this. That fucking
do.
story is amazing.
There goes Bill. Poor Bill. Anybody listening, if you have not tripped on acid or shrooms and watched Alice in Wonderland
You
as the
definitely
trip begins,
should.
you need to, because you've never experienced in its true vigor and gotten the actual jokes. Like, fuck this being a fucking Disney. You know what we should watch when we trip?
Fantasia.
Fuck yes!
I can't believe we're having it. Matter of fact,
Because
when we go out to our
listen.
safety place,
yes,
we're
but
going to take it.
here's the deal.
We need to
It's-
bring a TV,
It's
though.
because the ending gets harsh, so we should stop at a certain point. I think we should stop at the Mickey part where he's like, "I'm getting kind of horny." That's weird. We need to wrap this up.
Yeah, I need Chick-fil-A to put some
Stop
fuel
it!
in the
Stop
fire.
mentioning their name.
We're going to get some Chick-fil-A, and then we're going to know how to do some butt stuff.
Okay. Anyway, so they have a bunch of sneaky night visits, right?
Yeah, oh, of course.
And she says,
We're
"I'm
going to have a sneaky
I'm
night
so
visit.
tired after your nightly visits. I've stopped breakfasting with my grandfather." So she can't even like get out of the bed in the morning. She's so fucked hard. All right. They fuck again. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yasmin gasped as he moved above her, his tools sliding over her wet folds and breaching her as her legs curled around him. He smelled like soap and something indefinable that was him, the unique person whom she loved. She arched her back, thrusting her breast into his mouth, loving the way it made him start thrusting faster and harder, a muted groan escaping. This time was less frenzied. There was time to run her hand through his hair, to catch his eyes with hers, to moan into his mouth. When he rolled over, she practiced her new skill of balancing on top of a man. Her hand clutched the slabs of Giles's chest. Her hair had fallen down her back. Her breasts were held in his hands, his thumbs roughly caressing her nipples. nipples. I love this, she gasped. My favorite position, he said. You said the same thing last night when you were bent over the chair.
Oh.
His eyes gleaming, his hips flexing up to meet her. I liked that too, she giggled.
Hey.
All right, so anyway, here's the deal. I can
Tell
wrap
me
this
the
up.
deal.
They talk a little bit about how he wants to be the only one that's touched her, and she's like, look, I don't have to dance with other guys. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to stop you from dancing, but I also don't want you to flirt anymore. He starts sounding a little bit possessive, and I remember in one of the books we read, we hated how possessive and fucking weird the guy got. I don't remember which book it was. I think maybe the Baby Billionaires Negotiation or something. Baby billionaire.
A billionaire baby.
It was the baby's billionaire.
Is the baby negotiating a billionaire?
So a week later, guest of honor at Duke Portobello, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about Lydia being betrothed and how they can't get married until after Lydia's married. Before we wrap this up, we got to talk about how much of a bitch Lydia has now become, because Lydia believes that her brother and Yasmin are not getting married. So she decides, as she's about to get married to someone who's, up and coming, she's going to be a fucking bitch. Let's end on some fucking drama. All right.
A cliffhanger.
What an exquisite... I said that like a fucked up. All right. What an exquisite gown you are wearing, Lady Lydia, Yasmin said, being polite, as I always am too, right?
Yeah, we need to stop.
My mother has noted, and this is Lydia's fiance talking. My mother has noted that my fiance's elegance sets an example for her sex, Lord Pettigrew said. The fuck? Lydia looked Yasmin over, her eyes lingering on her bodice. Thank you, Lord Pettigrew, she said to her fiancé. Of course, not everyone can be a good example. Some must serve as a warning. Hold on, it gets worse. Can you go turn on the light for me, though, because I feel blind? Lady Yasmin, would you mind if I were blunt? Yasmin did mind. Her grandfather and Lord Pettigrew were deep into a lively discussion of hunting after a heavy snowfall. Hey. So there was no help to be found there. As it happened, Lydia didn't wait for her response. You can be at no loss to understand what I wish to say, Lydia proclaimed in a low voice. Yasmin practiced her Countess glare while raising an eyebrow. Lydia flinched, so it must have been affected. I was very glad. She looked at her, yeah, Lydia says, I was very glad to hear you declined my brother's offer of marriage. That alliance would have been... Lydia broke off. A disgrace, Yasmin suggested. I did not say that, Lydia retorted. She took in a deep breath. Your arts and allurements are such that my brother has been drawn in, yet the alliance would be most imprudent. The infamous aspects of your background would forever mar the family name, which, if anybody remembers, they don't have a great family name to begin with. So, fuck you, Lydia. A bolt of fury went straight up Yasmin's spine, but your imprudent actions would not. They are hardly in the same category, Lydia asserted, her voice raising. I love my brother. He deserves better. You would never be welcome in my family. The Duke's head whipped around. I am most displeased by your impertinence, his grace barked. Lydia paled. My fiancé misspoke, Lord Pettigrew said. We would both welcome Lady Yasmin to the family should that be the outcome of Lord Lilford's proposal. Lady Yasmin has refused his proposal, Lydia retorted. Yasmin lost her head. I must tell you, Lady Lydia, that I make no promises about what I shall do. Should he ask again, I am resolved to act in accordance with my happiness rather than the honor of an ancient title or concern for your family's reputation. Ask again, Lydia squeaked. My brother hasn't come near you in days, in case you didn't notice. But my arts and allurement, Yasmin said. I feel certain that I could curl a finger and bring him back to me.
We fucked on your mom's chair yesterday.
I never imagined it would be so interesting to live with a granddaughter, her grandpa said. That's why I want a dog, I'll miss Yasmin when she flies the coop. Lord Pettigrew was a man who was not quick on the uptake, but now he was visibly perturbed. He rose from his chair, a firm hand bringing his future wife with him. If you will excuse us, oh, hold on, I lost my place. I got so intense. If you will excuse us, I'm afraid that my fiancé has offered some opinions that are as untrue as they are ill-judged. I would be grateful to both of you if you would forgive her rashness on the grounds of her youth. Lady Lydia's impulsive comments will not cause me a moment's concern, Yasmin said. Lydia's eyes flashed and a flush replaced her pallor? I'm not a very well-educated lady, if
You're
everybody...
so fucking pretty.
Thanks. That's what gets me by. We are grateful, Lord Pettigrew replied. My fiancée has much to learn. I assure you that her instincts, no matter how impolite, stem from deep love of her brother. Your protectiveness is ill-placed, the Duke said to Lydia. The Earl can take care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the evening was delightful, however. Everyone in the ballroom eyed, Yasmin and Giles waltzing and chattered about, but Yasmin didn't care. She just wanted to keep circling the floor in his arms, his legs brushing hers with every turn they took. All right, so they start talking a little bit. They say this is their favorite waltz, and because of the way you're looking at me, as if I want to ravish you. She burst into giggles, and he said, when you laugh, I fear that your breasts might escape your bodice. Are you saying that I'm too voluptuous for this gown? I can see into your bodice. Lush breast hoisted in the air by your corset. But then things get displeasing to me personally. He starts telling her that you're not merely fashionable. Your dresses are regularly the most outrageous in the rooms. And she's like, but Cleo's gowns are quite revealing. He said, Mrs. Addison carries herself differently. No man would interpret her clothing as an invitation. So he basically starts telling her, like, if you're going to be my bride.
Like a
hooker. Yeah. So, anyway, she swallows horrible memories of that piece of shit guy, and she's like, I suppose I can change my style of dress. And he's like, no, don't do that for me. And she's like, yeah, but I am going to learn to be a countess, I promise. And he's like, but once you're my countess, I won't be so possessive. Give me a fucking break.
No,
so
it gets
immediately,
it doesn't get better, it gets worse.
Yeah, so
look, if you're dating somebody, listen everybody out there. If you're dating somebody and you hope they change, they're not going to. They're going to get worse.
Anyway, so they keep talking about how she's going to dress. She didn't answer because Giles had lost his head and was kissing her so fiercely that only thing she wanted was to be without clothing. His hands ran up the front of her bodice, and with one gentle tug, it exposed her nipple. I guess they're not in the...
Like
I guess
one gentle tug?
Nipples! I guess they're not in the ballroom anymore. And he said, I'll miss this.
Oh, he's leaving her?
Yasmin suddenly felt as if a cloud had moved away from the sun. Who cared what her fiancé thought about her garments? Giles was merely trying to say in his masculine fashion that he liked her, or more than liked her, loved her, perhaps. Mm-hmm. The end of that installment and the last installment of the book will be next time, so we can find out what happens. Is she pregnant? Are they going to go through with it? Is she going to change her wardrobe? Will Lydia stop being a bitch?
None of those things are going to happen.
I'm the only one taking a cheers.
Dude, I gotta drink. I gotta drive.
No, I know. I appreciate you. So, I guess, I'm cheersing to women's autonomy of our own body, no matter what the fucking, legal system says that we can and cannot do with our fucking body. Fuck you. I'll do what the fuck I want. I'll dress what I want. I'll abort what I want.
Y'all heard it.
Hey! So anyway... How do you feel about this fucking book while I take a shot to having
I think it's getting interesting.
choice.
I think Giles is faking it, dude. I think he's just saying what she wants to hear to get in the pants, dude.
He's been getting in the pants.
Yeah, I know, because he's been saying some crazy shit to her. But he doesn't mean it. He's really going to be controlling and possessive and a narcissist because that's...
Listen, I think she's going to be pregnant. Do you think she's going to be pregnant?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be fucking...
I think they're going to get married.
What's his name? What's the dude that was smoking the J in the back?
It's not his baby.
Yeah, it is.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They have not fucked.
They have.
No, they haven't.
Man, they already said the whole betting pot was higher on him than everybody. Why?
That's about his courting rituals.
Yeah, what are my courting rituals?
Oh, we were friends with benefits first. Well, we were friends first, then friends with benefits.
He has dumped 2 loads in her without a condom before Giles even thought about it.
No, he didn't. She's only been with Hippolyte and now Giles.
What's the other guy's name?
Hippolyte.
No, not him.
Sylvester.
Yes. Sylvester's hit it twice.
I don't think he has. I think they're going to get married. She's going to have a baby. It's going to be a happy ending. Lydia's still going to be a fucking bitch. But we'll see. So the next time, the 4th installment of this book will be the last, and we have to go shopping for new books. So everybody listening.
Yeah, we ran through everything. It's been we're almost at a year in now, huh?
Over 5 books we've read. Kudos to me. That's what the shot should go to, me reading.
Yeah, dude. It's more than 5. It's gotta be like
I read. I can read. So anyway, thank you all who continue to listen, who are new listeners. Please keep going. To anybody out there who has a business who would like to sponsor, we are available. We'd love
and
to.
if you're in Norway,
Yeah,
man, tell
call
a friend.
me.
We want to overshadow.
I want to hear your accent.
Man, bring
Sext
it
me. So anywho, again, check out our social media for Bustles and Bangers on Facebook, Insta, TikTok. Sorry if I've been a little slow rolling lately. I'm a burnout, millennial. What can I say? But I'll get back to it soon enough. And then if you want to see a little bit more of us personally, Gypsy Danger. I forgot my fucking tag. Gypsy Danger 0317 on Insta and TikTok, and even Christo with a CH. The number 4 Danger, all one word, on Insta. He's so cute. You got to check him out. And he really goes out on a limb to talk some shit. So you should see it.
It's usually the people I know.
And then if you want to see some real kinky shit, check out my OnlyFans at Gypsy Danger 0317.
Yeah, we're tearing it up.
But seriously, we really appreciate y'all. We thank you for continuing to listen. We want to keep bringing freaky, controversial content to you. So give us a shout out. Let us know that you're listening.
We're going to do it till you run us out of this fucking town.
Ayo.
That would be a huge accolade on our resume. If we fucking ran out of here.
But seriously, get on our social media. Tell us your favorite
But
book.
until then, we're at the top of the fucking city right now.
Hey, and I gotta say, a shout out to my girly friend Jay. She has been one of the sweetest listeners. That she actually texts me and she lets me know where she's at, who she thinks is the protagonist or the bad guy, who she thinks is.
Hey Jay,
what's up, baby?
What's up?
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.